What if your brain is literally wired for scarcity? Because of decades of conditioning, stress, and unsupportive money beliefs that have carved neural pathways so deep they feel like the truth. The good news is your brain can be rewired at any age, including yours. And today I'm going to show you how. Welcome back. I'm Laura Whitelaw. And if you're a woman over 50 who is ready to stop waiting for your life to change and become the woman who actually changes it from the inside out, you're in exactly the right place. So every thought you think and every belief you hold is a neural pathway in the brain. Pathways that are used repeatedly become deeply grooved, like a well-worn pathway. Scarcity thinking, self-doubt, and money fears are actually well-practiced neural pathways. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's true and what is thought repeatedly. It just strengthens whatever gets the most repetition. So that's good news, because if you can create a neural pathway that doesn't serve you, such as the thought, there's never enough money, then you can create a new neural pathway and therefore a new reality by repeating the thought, there's always more than enough money. It's called neuroplasticity, and it's the brain's ability to rewire itself. It's available to you at any age, even over 50. So here's how scarcity thinking gets wired in. It typically happens in childhood because of the messages we receive about money. It's the childhood messages that we receive, such as there's never enough money, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are evil. If you watched your parents struggle financially growing up and internalize those fears and the stress, it's going to affect you later in life. And decades of overworking and under-earning just reinforces the belief that money requires hard work and suffering and that there is never enough. And failed business attempts or financial setbacks just become more evidence for financial scarcity. And we live in a culture that tells women over 50 that their best years are behind them. Ageism is a real thing that I've experienced in the corporate world, and you likely have too. But positive thinking alone doesn't rewire the brain. Consciously thinking thoughts of abundance while unconsciously holding scarcity beliefs creates an internal conflict, and the subconscious always wins. So real rewiring requires working at the level of emotion, identity, and your nervous system, not just thought. This is where the combination of neuroscience and inner work becomes so powerful. So here's how to actually rewire your brain for abundance. Number one, shifting your identity. So you can't just think your way into abundance if your identity is someone who struggles with money. The rewiring starts with deciding who you are. Not what you want, but who you are. So if you're familiar with Neville Goddard, you do not attract abundance. You embody the identity of somebody who is abundant. And you need to practice this new identity daily before your outside world begins to change. This means that if an unexpected bill comes in the mail or if your car breaks down, that you don't freak out. You respond in a way that your abundant self would. And this is something that I have to catch myself with from time to time. Another way to rewire your brain for abundance is through visualization with feeling. Visualization literally creates new neural pathways when done with emotional intensity. So in other words, make it a vivid visualization by engaging all of your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? Is someone congratulating you maybe? What do you smell? Maybe it's the smell of the warm cup of coffee that you're holding in your hands. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real or imagined. And daily visualization of your abundant life felt as already real is neuroscience, not just some woo-woo practice. And the feeling is what rewires the brain, as Neville Goddard says. So put yourself in a scene after your dreams have already come true, where everything feels normal, natural, and expected. Another highly effective way to rewire your brain for abundance is through EFT tapping. EFT targets the neural pathways associated with scarcity and fear directly. It sends calming signals to the amygdala while also reframing the belief. And it's very powerful for addressing deeply grooved money beliefs that visualizing alone can't address, especially if trauma is associated with that belief. So, for example, let's say your parents had to downgrade their home due to financial challenges when you were a child. And repetition, along with consistency, are key. New neural pathways are built through repetition. And you'll hear different opinions about this. Some will say that visualizing once is enough. But from a neuroscience perspective, your brain learns from repetition. So daily visualization is important and necessary. Every time you choose an abundant thought over a scarcity thought, you are literally building a new neural pathway. So if a large unexpected bill comes in the mail, just take a moment and pause before you react. Breathe into it. Breathe into it with box breathing, or just a slow, deliberate in and out a few times. And then repeat to yourself that there's always enough money and that you're safe. And if you're into affirmations, make sure that you state them with feeling and conviction. Doing it without really doesn't work. And nervous system regulation is vitally important. A dysregulated nervous system cannot hold the frequency of abundance. Feeling safe in the body is a prerequisite for abundance thinking to take root. So you need to regulate first and then visualize and affirm. Because if you try to visualize or repeat affirmations without calming your body first, you're essentially just wasting your time. So here are some takeaways. Make sure you practice some breath work before any visualization or affirmations. And throughout the day, catch yourself whenever you start thinking along the lines of scarcity or lack. Don't judge yourself. Just let your subconscious know that you're not going to engage with those thoughts again. And practice breath work. And in the evenings, you can practice EFT tapping to address any money fears that came up during the day. Try this for 30 days and see if you don't feel better about your money situation. So if this video resonated with you and you're ready to begin rewiring your brain for abundance, reach out today at the link below for a reinvention clarity call with me. This is exactly the type of deep identity work that I do with my clients. And if you're not ready for that, make sure you click the subscribe button below and give me a like, and leave me a comment below and let me know what limiting belief you're going to let go of with EFT today. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.